I don't know if there's a whole lot to say about this one, man. It's just an ugly ball game in every facet of the word. My question for Auburn is just, what the hell was that, man? Like, what even was that? Like, I get it. It's the Music City Bowl. You're 6-6. It doesn't move the needle. Who cares? Whatever. But like I mentioned earlier, like, I don't really buy into that. I just don't buy into that. Like, it doesn't matter to who. Because when your team wins a bowl game, it's, man, what a great springboard this is going into next year. Man, great job by all parties involved, staying motivated and being locked in. And this just shows how great the culture is. And, man, this is going to really help us and boost us going into the next season. And then when you lose, it's, well, it doesn't matter anyways. Doesn't matter. Like, you can't have it both ways, man. Either it does matter completely or it doesn't matter completely. Right? I thought it was really interesting what Hugh Freeze said after the game, where he just basically admitted, like, hey, listen, I didn't get in the game plan until really the week of the game. I was busy recruiting. I get it. Because Hugh Freeze is focused on building for the future. I totally understand that. Win or lose, I mean, year one of the Hugh Freeze era, how would you grade it? It was a C+, B-, probably. There were some moments, but, the New Mexico State loss really, really took the wind out of the sails. But it just looked like an Auburn team that had checked out. They just did not care. Just could not, would have rather been doing anything else other than be at that bowl game in Nashville. And so when Hugh Freeze mentioned, hey, I didn't get involved in the game plan until this week, actually. I've been recruiting. I get it. Maybe some things are better left unsaid. Maybe it's better to just, you know what? Just keep that to yourself. We don't need to know that you don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to know all that, coach. And his team played that way. Like, you can say whatever you want. The bowl games don't matter. And if you'd have won, who cares? No big deal. But it does no good to get embarrassed by Maryland. I mean, all due respect to the Terps, but Maryland? Guys, Auburn wasn't even in this football game. It was 21-0 after the first quarter. It was 24-7 at half. I mean, it was 31-7 at the end of 3. Never even competitive. It was never even competitive. And guys, I tell you this, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I know Peyton Thorne's coming back next year. And I've heard some Auburn folks talk about they feel good about Peyton Thorne. If Auburn does not go out and get a quarterback out of the transfer portal, and I don't know exactly who's available or who they should get, but if they don't go get somebody, they are making a massive mistake because Peyton Thorne ain't it. Peyton Thorne is not the guy. I'm not saying he's not going to have some bright spots if he is the starter, but the expectations at Auburn ain't 6-6. They ain't 7-5, especially going into year 2. Does any Auburn fan out there honestly believe that Peyton Thorne is the quarterback to get them to, let's just say, 8-4 or better? I mean, and then you got these 5-star receivers coming in. You're bringing in an influx of talent. And like, you're not going to be able to maximize the talent if you don't have the right guy under center. Again, I don't know who the answer is in the portal, but they got to go get somebody. They got to get somebody to, at minimum, bring some competition. And ideally, they go get somebody to take Peyton Thorne's job because he ain't worth a damn. Ain't worth a damn. Every time Peyton Thorne plays a defense that's got a pulse, this man is nowhere to be found. 13-27, 84 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Now, is it all his fault? No, but I just, if you're Auburn, you got to go get a quarterback. You got to go get a quarterback. It starts and ends with the quarterback position. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. And Auburn all season offensively was just WTF. That's it. They were just WTF. No idea. No clue. Up and down roller coaster. Auburn football in 2023. Year one of Hugh Freeze. The running game wasn't there, 76 yards. I mean, Jarquez Hunter went 13 of 44. There's just not a whole lot of positive, if any, to say for Auburn. And, I will say this, though, because Auburn fans are ready to punch me through the screen or punch me through the mic, whatever it is. Auburn fans are upset with me. Listen, it's a disappointing end to year one. I don't think it necessarily changes the trajectory on the Plains or what the trajectory can be because, again, the recruiting's still really good, right? You finish, fourth in the SEC, I think it was? The recruiting is still really, really good. You're bringing in game-changing talent. Hugh Freeze is still one of the best in the business. You saw those flashes this year. Auburn guys went toe-to-toe with Georgia and Bama. Should have beat Bama. Had Georgia on the ropes. So they've got the dude, I think. I think Hugh Freeze is the guy. But you got to get a quarterback. Like there's things that have to happen because you want to write off the Maryland game. You like but that game was a microcosm of what Auburn was all year, which was painfully inconsistent at times. And at their best, they were solid, more like average. And at their worst, they were downright terrible, losing to teams like New Mexico State and getting blown out in the Music City Bowl.